Okay, so this recording's a bit late, about a week late, but we finally got everyone together for it. Um, so this is Derto that we're going to get to talk to. He's playing Inza in our game, so that's our female bard with the violin. So you want to go ahead and introduce Inza for us?
Okay, yeah. So let's see how to start. Yeah, so I'm not sure I mentioned it at the start, but she's an Asima. I think I did, at least a less Asima, just like Valerian. So she grew up from a very righteous, good family where she was supposed to be some kind of cleric or paladin. But from a point of view, she never really saw the world as black and white as her family, and because of that, especially her father noticed that very early, and she got abandoned by her family because she was her father said too human, as in she was not really lawful good enough and definitely not enough to be some kind of paladin.
Mm-hmm.
And so the way she managed to survive is she kind of got adopted by a bard in Jacinta, and it was kind of like a father and mentor to him, and that's to her, and that's how she learned mostly everything she knows, regarding music and all kind of different knowledge. So now over the whole getting abandoned thing, she kind of still held grudges, obviously, about it, and she kind of despised kind of being a Asima herself, and that's why that from the very beginning she's been hiding it by wearing a blindfold. So she's not actually blind, but since the Asima white eyes are the only non-human things about her, she figured that living as a blind person would make her more human, and she's been doing that since she was a child. And I mean, it was difficult at the start, but she adapted, and actually she never actually stopped. I mean, she never actually used her eyes for years. And I guess on the plus side, as a bard, it makes her performance more impressive, and she's more likely to get help, out of pity or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a plus. Now, in addition, because of that, she has very strong negative feeling about those overly good people. She thinks that they're too self-righteous and oftentimes very hypocritical. And that's actually one of the reasons she kind of chose to go with Valerian. She wanted to see if she was right or she something. And well, after the few last episode, and especially the torture scene, well, she's even more convinced than that she was right all along, because he act like a very lawful good person, and then he does things that she might not consider good, and she's like, yeah. And so her goal, because of that, I mean, she kind of think it's a bit pointless, but she would either to make Valerian, kind of change his mind maybe about the whole good versus evil thing. And yeah, also she kind of chose to go travel because her mentor and adopted father is, as a bard, is, I've seen all kind of story, but he's a bit depressed, and she kind of wants to cheer him up by either finding the good stories or good item or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's about it. If you have question, if I forgot something.
Okay, yeah, we can always come back to it. Let's actually go run through your character sheet really quickly. So, have you managed to level this up from the last time we played?
No, I didn't do it, but
Okay.
I don't think I would. Yeah, I don't think much would change. Probably one spell. Yeah.
All right. So we'll run through really quick. So this is currently at level 2. When we ended before this recording, they've been moved up to level 3. But if you're listening to this along with on YouTube, this should fit in right where we are right now. So running through, she has 17 hit points, an initiative of +1, speed of 20, armor of 13. She's wielding a rapier, And her abilities are Strength 12, Dex 12, Con 13, Intelligence 15, Wisdom 14, and Charisma of 17. The feats that she picked up, if I can... There we go. They are Blind Fight, obviously. And then Melodic Casting. And she speaks Common, Celestial, Elvish, and Kalashite. And her alignment is True Neutral, am I right?
Yep, that's it.
All right. So let's take a moment and actually talk about the ability scores before we move on to things like your skills and the spells you chose to take.
Mm-hmm.
So for someone that's blind, you have an unusually low wisdom score. You actually have a higher int than your wisdom. You want to explain that?
I mean, it's still like 14 wisdom. It's still high, right? But I think it's mostly because probably as a bard she had like to learn a lot, and she read a lot of book about lots of, well, I guess she didn't, at least at the start.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it's just one more int, right? So I'm not sure I think it makes that much of a difference.
Okay. We can actually jump on here down to your skills really quick because we left off with them.
Yeah.
Running through, you have a lot of the really basic kind of bard things: bluff, perform. Yeah. You got string, dance. You haven't used dance yet. I'm still waiting for it, even with just a +4 on it.
Yeah.
And,
our rogue also have dance. He didn't use it, so I was waiting for him and then do dance off. But
all right. Looking through, you have actually quite a nice, well-rounded bit of knowledge. So you have knowledge, religion, nature, history, and arcana.
Yep.
Granted, some of them are pretty low, but the fact that you still have, it's always nice seeing a well-rounded bard. And unlike most of my private games that I've run, nobody ever puts points in listen. And you have a wonderful 9.
I mean, if you're blind, you might as well be good to listen, right? That's actually why I kind of chose Asima, because you get a +2 to listen, so I figured that would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and the whole like heist thing felt kind of good with the background, so it's good.
All right, well, I'm glad we could work that out. And the last thing is your spells. So at level 0 for your cantrips, you have Lullaby, Songbird, Prestidigitation, Daze, and Detect Magic. And then for your level 1s, you have Hideous Laughter and Inspirational Boost. So you want to explain why you chose to get them specifically? Did any reason in particular?
I mean, the cantrip, like, let's see. I mean, I actually didn't use Prestidigitation, but I think it's really cool cantrip because you can do a lot of small things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I could have like faked some kind of tattoo, for example, when we were like infiltrating, but I didn't do it because it didn't come up. And I guess Detect Magic is obvious, and I always like Daze. It's kind of cool. Like it's useful early, and
we've gotten certainly a lot of use out of it.
Yeah, and then for like level 1, it's like inspiration boost because she always like kind of like to sit on the back and play the music, so that kind of boost gives like +1/+1 in top of the original +1/+1. So it kind of fit for someone who kind of. I mean, she's blind, so I didn't expect her to fight that much. Actually, like it quite have tried at least. I guess with time she's gonna use more spell and less fighting. So yeah.
All right. Well, I was going to say we've certainly used Inspirational Boost a lot. And I remember 2 or 3 times actually.
I used it
because
once,
of that.
But then it's the song. Yeah.
Yeah, but because of that bonus, we managed to score hits and things like that.
I used it only once actually. It was against the bird thingy, because then it was a +2/+2 instead. But usually I just used Inspire Courage. Then it's just +1/+1 to the song.
Okay.
I mean, I only have like 1 spell used per day for level 1, so yeah, we only did 2 days, right? So I used each skill once, and the Reduced Laughter kind of failed.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So do you want to talk about where your plans are to go with this character if we keep going with him? So at like mid-level and high level, what kind of prestige classes you want to take, what you want to focus on with him?
I really I'm not sure actually. Like it really depends how this goes, because I actually never played Bard, right? And I think it depends how we play the campaign. I mean, if we did kind of like a few fight and stuff, so if we continue like that, I would probably go to somewhere more like spell oriented, maybe something where you get more spell or like you fight better. But if we start doing more like something where I need more skills, for example, I might go in this direction. To be the guy in the party who knows has a lot of knowledge or anything like that.
Okay. And
Yeah.
you mentioned this is your first time playing Bard, so what do you
Yeah.
normally play when you play D&D?
I've played, let's see, I've played a fighter and a rogue. I think that's it. Yeah,
Okay.
fighter and rogue.
What's your favorite role so far?
I think rogue. I always liked it. It's kind of like, I don't know. I've never had any problem like role playing a rogue. It feels kind of. Not saying that's how I'm in real life, but just like playing a bard is a kind of like difficult. Like I don't know. I'll try to get better at it. It's a bit challenging. I mean, especially with the whole like playing a female bard and everything and blind. Like, it's a very challenging like thing to do, and we'll see.
I think you've been doing pretty well with it. So, going on that vein, so you want to talk about the history you have with tabletop games? So you mentioned before we started the recording that you play a bit of Vampire. You want to explain what that is and other games you've played like it?
But yeah, well, I mean, to start off, I started with the other two players, with Void and Rock. I think it was like 3 years ago, 2 years ago, I think, and we started playing D&D like 3.5. That's where I played like a fighter, and then we started like playing other game. We played like 13 Age, and we didn't play that long. And then I think it was at least 6 months ago. Yeah, we started like playing like Vampire the Masquerade. I mean, for those who don't know, it's like a game where you. I mean, Void should explain that, but yeah. I mean, you play like a vampire in a very historical, like Dark Ages style. It's feels like, I mean, it's a lot more realistic than D&D and more like dark and everything, and it's very much oriented towards like social interaction and things like that. And,
Okay.
yeah, I really like it also. It's very different. Yeah, I mean, if you like reading, just the book is kind of like nice. Just the writing style.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and I figure out the last thing is we've gotten pretty well into the campaign so far. What's your thoughts on it so far? Where would you like to see it go? Changes you might like to see happen to it if you could?
I mean, I think for now I didn't really like. I mean, it's probably my fault, but could not really use all my skills, right? Like bluff and everything, because I don't know. Like every time we mostly, kind of like I kind of followed what the other would do or what we were supposed to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at least, yeah, it's just I'm not sure how to explain. I'm not sure if you see what I mean. Like because I have lots of skills, right? Like with bluff and lots of knowledge and stuff, but I don't feel like I managed to use them in a good way. So I'm not sure if it's because the way we play the campaign or it's my fault.
Okay, I think I understand what you're trying to get at. I'll have to
I
think a
think
little bit
that's
on
why,
that.
for example, Valerian is. I feel it's very obvious doesn't have any trouble like getting into character, but I think that's because for the way we play, like playing a paladin like that, it's probably easier because it
Mm-hmm.
just I mean, he's like smiting evil people all day long, so
Yeah, he does have it pretty well made for him, but hopefully that'll change as we go along.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so is there anything else you want to add, or I think we covered it all?
No, I mean, for me, like, unless you have other questions, but it sounds about right.
Okay, so I think we can definitely pick you up again on the next cycle, and that should help round out these questions that we had. So
Sure.
again, that was Derto. He plays Inza, our bard in the Men of the Column campaign, and next week should be Rock, and he's our tiny little thief without much damaged output. But yeah, thanks for doing the interview, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Yep. All right, and the next video should be up on Monday. See you all around.